This is Saudi Arabia, the 13th greatest country according to area, in which almost 40 million people are living. And these 40 million people live in such strange manner, having no epitome all over the world. But almost 80% of Saudi Arabia population live in these two colored lines. One is blue line just side by side at the Red Sea of Saudi Arabia and covers all its western coastline. And on the other hand is this yellow line, starting from the Persian Gulf through the center, goes to western coastline. Except these two lines, as we can see, all the Saudi Arabian parts are almost empty. On the contrary, many people settled just few years ago in this yellow line. It means that Saudi has been a barren land for thousands of years.
Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel, HamiTV.official.
To understand all of this, we've to dive into the history and geography of Saudi Arabia. According to geography, it's the world's 13th greatest country. Almost 3 Europe can easily fit into it. And that's most of its region are empty as its population is 40 million, and even this figure of population here just added few years ago. If we take a look at the data, so in 1970, the population was 6.1 million. But in 2023, the population rose to 37 millions. Means that in just 50 years, almost 3 crore people had added, i.e. 6-time increment can be seen here. What just happened in these 50 years and why back in 1970, Saudi Arabia population was too low? The biggest reason is harsh geography of Saudi Arabia. For example, if we take a look at the map, we'll just see vast desert everywhere like Al Nafud Desert, linked with Jordan and Iraq borders at northern side. Same as at southern side, there is an enormous, harsh and very deadly desert called the Rub al-Khali in Arabic, and the empty quarter, in English, linked with Yemen and Omani borders. If you look at the Google Maps, you'll see no proper city here, neither any roads, railroads, or even homes. Also, its main reasons, in addition with deadliest, a lot of dangerous sandy storms can be seen here that never comes anywhere on Earth like these. The temperature here in summer rose up to 55 degrees Celsius. But on the other hand, in winter, it dropped down 7 degrees Celsius, which is even more deadliest for non-adopted people. Because of this desert, the trade in central, northern and southern part of Saudi Arabia had been a challenging task, even though all of these countries are neighbors, like Oman, which is locked from everywhere, i.e. In front is an ocean and behind is a deadliest desert. Before 20th century, no one dares to cross this desert. But in 1931, a British explorer, Mark Evans, with some local Arabians, crossed it in 60 days. And in 2018, for the first time, a highway constructed there, which connects Saudi with Oman through Qatar. Before this, if you have to travel to Oman by roads, you have to cross UAE through Qatar of 18 hours driving to reach Oman. So this desert was one reason of harsh geography of Saudi Arabia. On second position is river. Saudi is alone the biggest country of world, having no single permanent river. Not alone Saudi, but neither do have Yemen, Oman, Qatar, UAE, Bahrain and Kuwait. Similarly, here most of the rain's raining at the coastline of Saudi and Yemen, and this might be a reason of Yemen having higher population than Oman, UAE through and other Gulf countries. Due to this population pattern, Yemeni civil wars always had a great impact on Saudi Arabia. Because Yemen and Oman have a Rub al-Khali desert in between them where no one dares to go. But Yemenis and Saudis' densely populated areas are just side by side with each other, due to which the rebels and traitor are always threatening Saudi Arabia due to missile attacks. Now, here's an interesting point that Saudi main cities like Mecca, Medina, Jeddah, Riyadh and Dammam are all located outside of these densely populated circles. Now behind Mecca, Medina and Jeddah's location is 1,000 years back historic and strategic reasons. Mecca and Jeddah are very close to each other, in addition with they are at the same distance from Mediterranean Sea, Gulf of Aden, Persian Gulf, and the empty quarter. This strategic location means that this was a flashpoint for trade caravans coming from India, Iran, East Africa, and Egypt. Thus, to avoid them was impossible because all the travel, either by land or by water, from India to Egypt was through this route before the Suez Canal was made, in which they definitely faced these three cities, Mecca, Medina, and Jeddah. And just this was an enough reason for these three cities to be economically the focal point of Arab world. If I zoom in the map more, you'll see at the northern side of Mecca has a lot of mountain ranges, and at the northeastern part is Taif. Taif is a beautiful city where everywhere is almost greenery and cool weather. In ancient time, Quraysh clan Sardar's chiefs, princes and kings used to spend their summer vacations here. It was a hill station for them. But from Taif up to Persian Gulf, all you see is a flat desert as highlighted as yellow. But here raining is negligible. And that's why for thousands of years these areas are empty, except areas around Riyadh, where Arab nomads usually used to live there till the emergence of 20th century. In 1900, Saudi Arabia population was 25 lakhs, in which 99 people living here at coastline line of Red Sea. But in next 30 years, something unexpectedly happened due to which this population pattern has changed. And from that time, this yellow line emerged when Al Saud family of Riyadh took the control of Saudi Arabia and declared Riyadh as the official capital of Saudi Arabia. Now, this wasn't the only reason to make Riyadh as the capital, as Al Saud family was from Riyadh. But they were out of options because Mecca and Medina can't be the capital, as there is no entrance allowed for non-Muslims, as capital is center for all foreign delegates, ambassador, the Bhutan head of states to come in. So for Saudi to sustain their diplomatic relations with foreigner, it would be difficult then. That's why they declared Riyadh as the capital of Saudi Arabia. And then in 1938, near Riyadh, pallets of oil reserves were discovered which enormously changed the destined path of Saudi Arabia. Up to 1970, Saudi fulfilled the world's 50th demand of oil. Billions of dollars emerged, and then near these oil fields, lots of new cities came under construction due to the incoming money. At the eastern part of Saudi is Dammam, where before 1920, narrowly some few hundreds were living, was now a hub of oil industries, and in today's world Dammam is now a state-of-the-art petropolitic city, where approximately 20 million people are living, and all this happened just in 40 to 50 years. After the 1970s, money just rained on Saudi Arabia and was becoming the great welfare trust center, where citizens paid zero taxes, and from education to electricity, food, water, petrol, and even homes, all of it was government responsibilities. The government is making a lot of money, and as the population was too low LI, the government expenses lots of money with open heart on his subjects. But there came a problem. The upgoing economy and industrialization required jobs, as the Saudi national was provided many facilities due to which they have no interest in jobs. Muslim workers from Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, Indonesia, and Egypt were provided thousands of visas to come here and fulfill the jobs gap of construction, transportation, and service industry. From that, in next 30 years, Saudi economy and population literally exploded. Riyadh and Jeddah, from small cabins, hovels, and broken roads, turn into metropolitan cities where almost 2.5 crore people are living combinedly in these cities. Now almost 85 are living in cities, and this is the main reason of Saudi Arabia population pattern, that they are settled in this natural blue line and an artificial yellow line. But this pattern of population creating problems for Saudi Arabia, as billions of dollars were invested to construct these cities. Their major issue is water. Yes, the water! As here raining is negligible. To overcome this issue, Saudi in 1980s were in search of underground water, and they just found it. Even Saudi government fit artificial aquifers on some water reservoirs, but due to low Reninga and high consumption, these artificial wells get dried. Secondly, only 0.5% of all Saudi land is fit to cultivate any kind of crops, and the left 99.5% land is deserts, mountains, cities and roads. That's why majority of food is imported from foreign. Saudi government has provided heavy subsidiaries and artificial aquifers to farmers so that they can farm. And so does Saudi not have to import food from foreign. This was achieved up to some extent but wasn't sustainable, because most of the artificial aquifers which fulfill the need of water were 80% dried up to 2010. And scientists predicted that in upcoming 2030 these all aquifers will fully dry out. After this, Saudi government stopped working on this project and highly required water crops like rice cultivation get banned. To overcome this problem, Saudi government installed many desalination plants near Persian Gulf, which purify the salty water of oceans and fulfill the need of Riyadh, Dammam and other cities. Similarly, here at Western Coastline, 12 desalination plants had installed which fulfill the needs of cities near the coastline. No doubt it is an unbelievable task. But it is highly dependent on Saudi's oil reserves, as these desalination plants need high energy to work. That's why King Mohammed bin Salman very quickly diversified Saudi economy from oil reserves. He wants an independency of Saudi on oil. As we can see, the world is turned from fuel to electrical era. And when this sustained, it would be a challenging problem for all oil-dependent countries. But, in this video we have a lesson that if a leader is sincere, he can turn even a desert into bloomed garden. How Saudi's leader transforms Riyadh and other cities, and how they facilitate their people with modern comfort and ease. That is unbelievable. Here we are full of natural resources, having geographical location where from snowy mountains to desert everything is there. But still poverty and hunger never let us go. Maybe we don't have sincere leadership like them. I pray that one day we might get a visionary leader.